Hello and welcome to yet another live hacking session on the VIP zSecurity Discord server. My name is Dimitris and today we're going to hack the Mirai machine from Hack the Box. This box is easy rated and I will show you how to root it. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm going to start off with a simple Nmap scan to get all the open ports on the machine. The command I'll be using is nmap sva. SV probes all the open ports and A enables OS detection, and then I'm going to specify the machine IP, which is 10.10.10.48. Now that we have the results, we can see that there are three open ports. We can see port 22 for SSH, port 53 for DNS, and port 80 for HTTP. We can access the web page since we know that light HTTPD is running on the machine. And we get a blank page. Now, we can try to do a GoBuster scan to reveal the hidden directories. So, I'm just going to clear my screen here. And now do GoBuster, dir, and then I'm going to specify the URL. I'm going to specify the word list, and I'm going to use the 2.3 medium word list. After I hit enter, we can start the scan, and right off the bat we get the admin directory. So we can go ahead and try and see what is in the admin directory. Let's just give them some time to load. Great. Now that we have the page loaded, we can see that this is an interface for Pi-hole. If we check Pi-hole online, we can see that Pi-hole was originally created to be run on Raspberry Pis, thus the name Pi-hole. We can try to log in with default login credentials, but from what we can read online about Pi-hole, it generates a random password once you start it, and then there's no default password for this. So, like I said before, this was meant to run on Raspberry Pis. And if you're not familiar with Raspberry Pis, a Raspberry Pi is a low-cost, credit card-sized computer that looks like this. Now, since we know that this machine is running on a Raspberry Pi, on a Raspberry Pi image, we can try to use default credentials for SSH and see if it works and we can get initial access to this. I'm going to stop the scan, clear my screen, and then do SSH. And before I do that, I must check for the default credentials for Raspberry Pi. So if I do SSH default credentials for Raspberry Pi, I misspelled credentials, sorry. We can see that the user is Pi and the password is Raspberry. So if we do SSH Pi, specify the IP, and now enter the password Raspberry, we gain access to the machine. A nice note to see here that it says that the SSH is enabled on default password for the Pi user. And this is a security risk, so it tells us that we must change the password, and that's a really cool thing that we can see here. So great, now that we have initial access to the target machine, we can go ahead and try and find the user flag, but I want to do more than that. I want to gain root, and I can't do everything without root because I'm only the Pi user. So I'm just going to start off by trying to find the user.txt flag, which is stored under the desktop directory. I will do cut user.txt and we can see the user flag. Now I will attempt to escalate my privileges to root in order to find the root.txt flag. And then I will complete the box. So now if we go ahead and run the sudo l command, we can see that we have access to all the commands. We can run any command as everyone, and we don't have to specify our password. So this means that we can do sudo su and this will give us root access. Now we can go ahead and check the root.txt flag, but we don't find exactly what we want. It says, I lost my original root.txt. I think I may have a backup on my USB stick. So we can go ahead and try and find the USB stick, which is usually stored under the media directory. There we go. I'm going to change my directory to the USB stick, list everything, and we can see a file called dammit.txt. I'm going to cut this as well. And we can see, damn it, sorry man, I accidentally deleted your files off the USB stick. Do you know if there is any way to get them back? We know that there is a command called strings, which prints the strings of printable characters in files. With that command, we could find the deleted value. So if we do mount to check for all of the storage devices, we can see dev SDB, which is on media USB stick, which this is the machine, sorry, this is the device that we need. So now we can do strings dev SDB, and we can see right here everything, and this is the root flag. If I go ahead and copy this and go back to hack the box, it should be under here. If I go ahead and submit the flag, I get an error. But I think I'm getting an error because I've already got the flags, but it's totally fine. We have found the root.txt flag and the user.txt flag. So now guys, if you have any questions, please let me know, just so that I can answer them, all of them.